welcome, welcome, welcome. How are all of you tonight? Got a really cool video I'm gonna shoot for all of you. Hey, as you come on here, if you can hit the thumbs up button and throw me a heart or a like, I've got a really cool video I'm gonna shoot for all of you. Hang on, okay, animals are in their place. Let's make sure my kitchen is clean for all of you. Welcome! Hey you guys, I'm Andrea Cox. I'm an intuitive healer and a detox specialist by trade, a little bit of a medicine woman, so to speak. I wanted to do a really cool video for all of you. Those of you who don't know me, I've been in the health and wellness, the holistic health business for years. I've authored 3 books, Juicing for Beauty, Rawlicious Recipes, and now Eat Right for Your Zodiac Type. And that's what I want to talk to all of you today. First of all, let me tell you where you can get the book, which is 144 pages. It is actually downloadable, so it comes right into your inbox. You can go to andreacox.com, click on shop, and it's right there at the top, or you can go to the Detox Intuitive and click on spiritual gifts and offerings. No matter where you go, it's right there, it's available to you. And what I want to talk to you guys about today, thanks for all the hearts, you guys. Thanks for the thumbs up. Welcome Pam, welcome Claire, welcome Ada. Tell me where you're tuning in from in the comments after you toss this baby a thumbs up. I wanted to talk to you tonight about the 12 zodiac signs, right? And what part of the body they control and or are in charge of or dominate, and then what foods we can eat for that zodiac sign. Now, my yoga mat is stabbing me. It's telling me to use it more. What I don't want to confuse you guys with is this. So if you are the type of person that's like, oh, I'm an Aries. Say you're an Aries, right? I'm not an Aries, but say you are. And you're like, so I'm just going to listen to Aries, the section she says about Aries. That actually, welcome Carl, that actually is not the right thing to do. And I want to tell you why. So we all have all 12 of the zodiac signs somewhere in our chart. And a lot of us are a different zodiac sign in Vedic than we are in Western. I know I am. So I'm a Pisces sun, a Scorpio moon, and a Scorpio rising, Cancer in the 4th house in Western. But when it comes to Vedic astrology, I show up as a Scorpio Libra Nakshatra, and I have a Libra rising. So I've got a lot of Pisces in my chart, a lot of Scorpio, a lot of Cancer, a lot of Libra, right? So we want to take those things into consideration, right? So also, you know, check where your Venus is. If you're trying to get pregnant, you'll want to eat for your Venus sign. So I'm a Venus in Pisces in Western and a Venus in Aquarius in Vedic. So we want to like take these things into account. So let's start at the top and the bottom. We'll go to from the top and the bottom, like the top of the body to the bottom of the body, right? And we're going to talk about, can you guys hear me? Give this a thumbs up if you can hear me. Just want to make sure. Hang on. Hang on. We'll definitely be editing this for YouTube because I just want to make sure you guys can hear my big mouth. Hang on. Oh, we have 30 of you on here. Is it my internet that's slow? Is this what's going on here? Okay, I thought my website was pulling up slow. It looks like it's actually my internet today is pulling up slow. Anyway, let's talk about the top, so the head. So which sign, is everything coming in loud and clear? Okay, there I am. I'm gonna like my own video because, you know, I love myself and you should love yourself too, right? That's what I teach, self-love. And also while you're on here, throw my new cover photo a thumbs up because I designed that myself and I think it's really pretty. I even took the photo myself, so okay, it's okay. Self-love is good, self-love is good. Give yourself a big hug. All right, so we're going to talk about the top of the body first. So what sign controls the head, right? What sign gets migraine headaches? What sign is into head games? What sign controls the brain? That is the sign of Aries. Aries controls the head. They don't control the eyes, that's Sagittarius, but Aries controls the head, so they control the brain, right? So foods that are good for Aries. Let's talk about a few Aries characteristics. Now, check your moon and rising sign. Also, if you don't know any of this, hop on over to the DETOX Intuitive and book a private reading. You can book an Akashic Record reading, a love reading, a general reading with me, and I'll pull your chart up for you. So Aries, they're the leader, right? They're the first, actually, on the Mayan calendar, and in the Persian calendar, they are the first sign, and Aries like to be in control. Okay, some would say they're a control freak, right? I'm one day away from being in Aries, so I know all about control. And Aries like to dominate. They like to be in control. Now, Aries is prone to headaches. They are also prone to eating too much fat, too much meat, too much cured meats and things of that nature, which are horrible for them. So let's talk about good foods for Aries. Good foods for Aries would be things like berries. Berries are an excellent food for Aries because they are light, they are really easy to digest, they keep the cleansing, they're high in antioxidants, they keep the body cleansing. So, you know, that's a great food for Aries. Sorry, someone was messaging me. Another great food for Aries, things like dark leafy greens are excellent for Aries. Things like bananas, high in potassium, so it helps Aries prevent those headaches. Things in avocado, like avocados, also good for Aries because they help prevent headaches. Aries is also a sign that can have a lot of things going on at once and stay in control. So that's a good thing about Aries. Let's move down to, let's do Taurus, right? So Taurus actually controls the nasal cavities, also the ears, right? Tauruses are prone to infections, ear infections, things like that. The one food, Tauruses are known to be stubborn, right? Tauruses are also very loyal when they're in love with you, and they're very hard workers. I say Virgo, Capricorns, and Taurus are the hardest workers there are. And then I would say Aries would be right under that. So Taurus, they do not do well with dairy. And as much as they try to cut dairy out, they do not do well with dairy. Oh, let me tell you another food that is not good for Aries. Actually, fermented foods, things like pickles, things like sauerkraut, things that would be good for you and I, not good for Aries. It can cause things with a lot of salt or iodized salt can cause Aries to have migraine headaches. So with Taurus, you want to eliminate the dairy, right? You want to get foods like Miko's Creamery, like the non-dairy cheeses. I'm going to show you an example. So an example of a good like non-dairy cheese would be like Miko's. You could do Daya. Daya's not my favorite, but this would be good for Taurus. So Taurus does not do well with dairy whatsoever. So definitely cut the dairy out if you're a Taurus. Also, Taurus does well with anti-inflammatory foods, right? So things like turmeric, also things like lemon, squeezing lemon in warm water every morning is excellent, excellent, excellent for the sign of Taurus, because we've got, with the sign of Taurus, we've got things like the ears, the throat, the neck, the vocal cords. So a stressed out, imbalanced Taurus is prone to lose their voice. They're prone to head, neck, and throat irritants and illness. So a balanced Taurus will, you know, they'll be able to speak clearly. Their ears will be clear. They're also prone to ear infections when they're a child. So is Sagittarius because of the connection with the eye, but I'll get to that in a second. So Gemini is actually the arms, the lungs, right? They're good communicators, so lungs, the hands, and the nervous system. So an unbalanced Gemini will have nerve issues galore. They can complain of nerve pain. They can have, they can be nervous. They can have actually a nervous energy about them. Their throat chakra can close up. An unbalanced Gemini male could lose his voice, lose his ability to express himself, could hold back his energy. Same with a unbalanced female, but the females usually tend to get nervous disorders, like either a nervous energy, which I feel belongs more to the men, and the women actually get nerve ending pain, like they get pain in their nerves. So they don't worry a lot because they keep so busy, right? A Gemini likes to have 2 or 5 or 12 things going on at once, right? They can be watering their plants, doing a handstand, painting, writing a blog. They like to have 10 different things because they're the twins, right? There's 2 of them, but really when we think about the way the brain works, there's like 20 of them. So good foods for Geminis are things like seaweeds, also spicy foods, spice, actual spice to spice up their life so they don't have to be doing so many things at once. They can remain calm and balance themselves with the food because they're spicing up their food, right? Wasabi is an excellent mustard, excellent for Geminis. So Gemini, sun, moon, rising, Venus, or the North Node, spices are where it's at for you. So let's talk about Cancer. Cancer, now they're responsible for the chest, the breast, and the stomach, but not the heart. The heart is Leo, and we'll get to Leo. Leo, those lovers, Leo. Who has not been in love with a Leo, right? I've been in love with 2 Leos, and yeah, that lasted like 11 years, and one didn't last, but that's okay. Okay, but let's focus on Cancer. So the chest cavity, the actual chest cavity, the breasts, and the stomach. This is why, and I don't want to get into all this, but this is why it's so detrimental that also skin, responsible for skin. If a Cancer cleans up their diet, their skin can really improve. But the chest is the hub of the lymphatic system, right? So it's good for Cancers to really, really clean up their diet so their lymphatic system does not get clogged, right? So good foods for Cancer are really keeping the diet clean. Things like beans are excellent for Cancer because they clean out the colon. Nuts, seeds, flax seeds, excellent, excellent, excellent food for Cancer because it's high in omega-3. Chia seeds, high in omega-3. Thanks for all the compliments, you guys. Stephanie, my girlfriend. I love you, Stephanie. She's actually my friend from San Diego, not my girlfriend. But I would make her my girlfriend if I was into that because I really love Stephanie. She's a great friend, workout, gym person. So, you know, foods for Cancer, flax seeds. I don't know why I went into that tangent because I'm a Pisces, that's why. So flax seeds are excellent. Foods high in omega-3s are excellent for Cancers because it keeps the lymphatic system moving. And since Cancer is in charge of the chest area, they're in charge of the lungs, right? Breathing, right? So doing something that involves stamina is excellent, excellent, excellent for Cancers. Let's talk about Leo. I love Leos. My dad was a Leo. My grandma, God rest her soul, was a Leo. And like I said, I've fallen in love with a few Leos. Leos just kind of get you in, and then it's really hard to, move out of that space. So Leos are in charge of the heart, the spinal column, and the upper back. So, you know, they always say Leos are romantic, they're lovers. That's true. They're in charge of the heart. So things that keep the heart pumping, good foods for the blood. Things like beets are excellent for Leos, especially a woman. Baked beets is wonderful for a woman, a Leo woman in particular, their bowels, right? So I have Leo in my house of communication. It's why I communicate so confidently. The first time I flipped on a camera, I was like, oh, I feel so comfortable. Because Leo, the sign of confidence, and love and expression is in my house of communication. So, you know, sometimes the night before I'm about to like interview someone, or if I was going to go on the news, I would eat baked beets or steamed beets with an avocado salad because I know they're good for keeping the blood going, right? What other foods are good for Leos? Oh, another food for Geminis while I'm on it are radishes because of the lung, the radish, the spiciness of the radish. I'll remember things in between the signs, but you guys can get a lot of this information in my book, Eat Right for Your Zodiac Type. So another food that is good for Leos, dark leafy greens are excellent, excellent, excellent for Leos. So also any type of herb that really cleans out the system, but not stimulating herbs. So Leos want to stay away from things like senna, but they want to move towards other types of herbs that really, things like Cassia sagrada, right? It's not a stimulant herb, but it gets the bowels moving. So it's not like senna, but it gets the bowels moving. There is an herb that's on the tip of my tongue and I can't think of it right now. Also, Gynostema tea, excellent for Leos because it gets the blood moving. So anything that has to do with blood, circulation, is an excellent food for Leos because Leos are in charge of the heart. They are in charge of the spinal column. They are in charge with of the upper back. A good stretch for a Leo to do if they're partnered would be to have a partner hook their arms so they could stretch out their upper back. So that's Leo. So Virgos, now this is a fact. The number one sign prone to eating disorders is actually the Virgo. Why? Because they are in charge of the digestive system, the intestines, and the spleen. And the spleen is all about balance in our body. So the digestive system, when we don't feel like our digestive system is running smoothly, we can tend to kind of like pull back on our eating or overeat if we don't feel like our spleen is being nourished. So nourishing spleen foods are excellent, excellent, excellent for Virgos. Foods like potassium broths, right? Good quality salt in your food and not too much. When I say quality salt, I mean things like pink Celtic sea salt in a broth. Excellent, excellent for Virgos. Virgos need to watch the digestive system a lot, right? So this is where my supplements on AndreaCox.com, my raw detox formula, my smiling gut pre and probiotic, all come into play because nourishing the digestive system is a must for Virgos because they are prone to eating disorders. So check your chart. Someone's messaging me on here. Sorry about that. So Libra, let's go to Libra because we're starting from the top of the body and going down. Libra is in charge of the kidneys, the skin. They kind of split the skin with Cancer, the skin, the lower back, and the buttocks, right? So Libras in the tarot are all about balance, right? So they are the karmic scales. So because they're in charge of the kidneys, they're in charge of our body's ability to release water and balance our water. Also the skin, which has a lot to do with the skin, the lower back, and the buttocks. So things that would be really good for Libras are beans. Also herbs such as berber. Berber is a lymphatic, and berber's good for other signs too, like Cancer. It's a lymphatic stimulator, so that actually, helps relieve the lymphatic system. Other herbs that are good for Virgos would be like butcher's broom. That's also an excellent, that was what I was trying to think of for Leo because the blood, it's a blood cleanser, but it's also good to kind of stimulate the kidneys. So these are all good things for Libras. Also, bananas and avocados, because they're full of potassium, are excellent for Libras because Libras are in charge of the kidneys, which control our water balance. Okay, so Scorpios, we gotta talk. Okay, we gotta talk. I have a lot of Scorpio in my chart, so I have my moon and rising there, but we have to talk. So Scorpios are in charge of the reproductive system, right? They are in charge of the sexual organs. So foods rich in lysine Not so many foods rich in the opposite amino acid would be like heavy amino acid foods, more foods like lysine, right? Things like when you get like, you know, there's a venereal disease that 45% of the population has called herpes. They have either form 1 or 2. I've been blessed to avoid that, thank God. But, you know, important for Scorpios to up their lysine in foods. Also, another really good type of food for Scorpios are more of the grounding foods. Because they're in control of our sexual organs, Scorpios need a lot of grounding. So potatoes, sweet potatoes, squashes, baked starches really help calm a Scorpio's hormones. So that's really important to pay attention to. So Sagittarius is in charge of the hips, the thighs, and the liver, but also has a little bit of a connection with the eyes. So because they're in charge of the hips and the thighs, it's really common for a Sagittarius to have really, really strong leg muscles. It's also excellent for a Sagittarius to do a lot of really good leg, you know, exercises. Sagittarius should not be sedentary. They actually should really focus on exercising. You may be a Scorpio Sagittarius cusper. You may be have a Sagittarius moon. You may have like 6 of your planets, like I do, are on the cusp, right at 0 degrees on Scorpio or Sagittarius, like myself. So they have really strong thighs, even bigger thighs. So a lot of, you know, running or exercises that are really conducive to building strong legs are excellent. Also, foods high in lycopene, like when you cook tomatoes, they're high in lycopene. Also, dark leafy greens actually contain lycopene, such as spinach, but you'll have to squeeze lemon or put vinegar on it or something of that nature. You can also absorb more calcium that way. But these are all good foods for Sagittarius. So Capricorns are the skeletal system, right? So when we think of Capricorns, we think about structure and strength because they are the builders, right? Out of all 12 of the Zodiac signs, who do you want working on your team more than a Capricorn? I want a Virgo and I want a Capricorn, and that is it. Like, I want a Virgo and a Capricorn, that's it. If you have a Virgo and a Capricorn on your team, you're climbing to the top. Why? Because Capricorns build things. They are the structure in building businesses. They are also the structure in our skeletal body. So foods high in calcium. Now, what is one of the #1 foods high in calcium? No, it is not milk. We are talking plant-based foods here. Hey, Jennifer, welcome. Jennifer and I went to school together. Tahini is an excellent food full of absorbable calcium. You want to make sure you get raw sesame tahini. I'll just grab mine out of my fridge for you, let you know which one I have. Okay. So I have Artisana Organics Raw Tahini. This is an excellent one for absorbing calcium, you guys. So if you're a Capricorn, you know, squeezing lemon on your spinach to absorb the calcium from your dark leafy greens, eating tons and tons of dark leafy greens like this from my garden are vitally important. Again, make sure you squeeze the lemon on top to absorb the calcium. So Aquarius is the circulatory system and the ankles, right? So nothing moves without the Aquarius, right? You're just kind of stuck without the Aquarius. That's probably another person you want on your team. So the circulatory system is it has a lot to do with our vascularity, but it also has a lot to do with our lymphatic system. So again, herbs like berber, right? Tincture of berber, things of that nature. Also, the ankles, right, hold the rest of the body. So think about that. The ankles hold the rest of the body up. So calcium-rich foods. Again, tahini, foods such as, lemon squeezed on dark leafy greens. Also some grounding foods as well, because Aquariuses are the water bearer, right? So they tend to have a lot of water signs kind of, feeling like they need them to stabilize them. So they have a lot of people oftentimes their children are a water sign, or a parent is a water sign, or a boyfriend is a water sign, or a girlfriend is a water sign. So they have a lot of water energy, Pisces, Cancer, Scorpio, sun, moon, rising, kind of depending on them. So, you know, being the water bearer, foods that strengthen their system, foods that strengthen their circulatory system, foods that strengthen their ankles. Also, you know, just twisting the ankles around like this to really get mobility in the ankles is vitally important. So last but certainly not least, Pisces. Feet in the lymphatic system. So I am a Pisces sun sign, and I can concur that I love a good foot rub. Actually, you probably see on my stories, I get a foot rub once a week. I think it's vitally important. I'm constantly barefoot too, and I'm constantly grounding myself in the grass. Pisces are feet. Let me grab something. But they are also very airy-fairy, in the sky, dreamers, right? So what Pisces, thanks for all the hearts, you guys. I love that you guys like this. So what Pisces need is grounding energy, right? Pisces are the most prone to addictions, right? If someone has a moon in Pisces, they're very prone to alcoholism. Someone has a sun in Pisces, they can be addicted to uppers, downers, things of that nature. So I know for me, I cannot even drink coffee. I don't wake up in the morning and drink a coffee. On the rare occasion that I grab a coffee, I have to measure it to be less than half a cup, because 1 cup of coffee, even if it's organic, even if it's bulletproof or whatever, will have me like a chatterbox and losing sleep for 2 days. So Pisces are highly sensitive to stimulants, and they need to stay away from stimulants at all costs. It can be a big life ruiner for Pisces. So foods that are good for Pisces: eggplant, because it's kind of shaped like a foot, right? Other foods, herbs such as berber, right? Also butcher's broom, because those cleanse the blood, they cleanse the lymphatic system. Foods that ground them, right? Because Pisces are airy-fairy in the sky, they're actually highly creative. Many artists, many geniuses were Pisces. Albert Einstein was a Pisces. Sharon Stone is a Pisces. Who else is a Pisces? There's so many artists and creators and actresses and actors that are Pisces, because they are highly creative people, but they need serious grounding, right? So foods that ground us are cooked foods and starches, such as baked squash, sweet potatoes, little new potatoes like this. Oftentimes I will steam some new potatoes. I'll take some fresh dill from the garden and I'll put a little vegan sour cream on there, and I'll eat them for dinner. It's delicious, and it really grounds me for the rest of the day, for the rest of the night rather, and helps me sleep. Pisces also have a lot of hormones in their system, so you know, grounding foods are important for Pisces. When you think about Pisces, think about anything that puts their feet on the ground, right? Anything that grounds them more. So there you have Pisces. Okay, so let's just go over it again. Pisces, lymphatic system, feet. Aquarius is our circulatory system, our ankles. Sagittarius, hips and thighs, somewhat of the eyes and the liver. Scorpio is the sexual organs, like the reproductive system. Libra are the skin, the kidneys, the buttocks, and the back. Virgos are the digestive system. They are definitely prone to eating disorders. Leo, love our Leos, are the heart, the spine, the upper back. So the upper spine, the upper back. Gemini are the arms, the hands, the lungs, often in the nerves. So oftentimes the women will get nerve issues. The men will get lung issues. Aries is the head, the brain, and part of Aries, they kind of share the eyes with Sagittarius, so they can get eye strain if they're in front of the computer too long. Good for Aries to get like blue blockers or whatever those are. Taurus is the throat. They kind of share the throat with Gemini. The neck and the vocal cords. So a Taurus and a Gemini in a fight is an absolute SHIT show, right? Because they'll both have like closed off throat chakras. Cancer is the chest, the breasts, and the stomach. So they should check their breasts more for things like cancer and things of that nature. Also the stomach. So the actual stomach, Cancer is the mother, hence the stomach. Get it, right? The Zodiac mother. Okay. I hope that helped. Let's see if any of you guys have any questions. Was that cool? I thought that was a really cool subject. I am doing well. Thanks so much. Aw, thanks for all your nice compliments. Oh, thank you for all your nice compliments. Okay, you guys, so what you can do to help support the channel, and by the way, thank you for all the love you've sent Roger's way. His hard node on his snout has actually gotten soft, and it is oozing the, I would say, pus and infection out of it. I did hear from his doctor today that that isn't the best sign, but I think it's a good sign, and I look at this from an above perspective, a holistic perspective, so I'm just going to keep on keeping on with him. He's on his bed right down here, and he's just as sweet as pie, and I love him so much. He just ate dinner, is getting ready to go night-night. I do have him off all medicines. He is not doing chemo anymore. I am just letting the Rife machine heal him, the sunshine heal him, the fresh air heal him. You can continue to support his journey by buying my book, Eat Right for Your Zodiac, which can be found on AndreaCox.com in the shop, and also on the DETOX Intuitive in the shop. Also, I wanted to tell you guys, all private readings, I will start taking private readings again in a few days, probably this weekend. You can go to the DETOX Intuitive, click on Spiritual Gifts and Offerings to book your readings. And the new spiritual fasting retreats, water fasting retreats, and juice fasting retreats are up. The new calendar for 2021, I think I'm only doing 3. Is up on AndreaCox.com. It is limited. I'm not having more than 5 people at each one. I do keep all your information private. I'm not going to be videoing you or anything like that. I've noticed over the years that when people attend a retreat, they like to really keep it on the down low and just do their cleanse, and I totally respect that. So all that information is up. Thank you, Ada. I appreciate you. Your journey has been so lovely to watch, and thank you guys for subscribing to both my YouTube channels, Andrea Cox TV and the DETOX Intuitive. I'm really excited to see some growth on those this year. Have a beautiful evening. Okay, bye. Be well. Bye.